Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I've lived through the Black Plague and had a pretty good time doing that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times and covered it on my movie podcast. Haven't seen it. Beetlejuice is coming up next.
Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevenet. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time. And today that is myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I had seen bits and pieces of Beetlejuice when I was very little. I was actually talking with my dad about this, like, oh, what movie are you doing this week for the podcast? And I was like, Beetlejuice. He was like, I hate that movie.
That's what didn't like it in the movie at all.
My dad does not like the movie at all. And I was like, oh, that explains why I never really saw Beetlejuice.
I mean, I can't even give you shit because I only saw this movie about like a year ago, like in 2021. So like a year and a half ago at this point. So I was a late bloomer to this too.
I can give you a lot more shit for the gaps in your movie knowledge than in my movie knowledge. Let's be honest. Only horror you can really shit on me for.
Oh, wow. No, there's other stuff I could shit on you for. So, I mean, we figured out. I've given you some non-horror ones here and there.
That's fair. I guess this is one of them technically.
Yeah.
But it was fun movie, fun little Tim Burton flick. We'll dive into that more. But Tommy, did you watch anything this past week? It's worth noting.
Yeah, I guess I'll mention what I did last night. So last night in Jersey City, I went to go see Rock and Roll High School, the Ramones movie from the 70s, directed by Alan Urkish, who apparently he was there during the Q&A, the director, and the Ramones tour manager was there too. But Alan Urkish said that he apparently was almost up for Beetlejuice himself back in the day. So when this movie was being first shopped around, because Tim Burton didn't write this. But Alan Arkin also directed some great classics like Caddyshack 2, which, I don't know.
Very classic.
I already see that. But Rock and Roll High School is a really fun movie. I haven't seen that in ages. It was really fun to be in there with the Ramones audience and people. Yeah, it was fun to be in for the audience that just knew everything about the movie. It was very hyped up and just, seeing all the antics in it. I didn't realize that Joe Dante also wrote this movie and was involved in the production. So, yeah. A little insane because they're name dropping Joe Dante a lot. The producer of the movie, who also produced Gremlins and Small Soldiers, was there too, talking about Joe Dante a ton during the Q&A section. So it was a really fun movie. I mean, it's been ages since I've seen it, and Ramones are awesome, obviously. And seeing just like PJ Souls from Halloween in this movie in our role is good. And Clint Howard always when he pops up is a good thing. So it was fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun night. This wasn't the movie with Vincent Chase and Entourage, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, what did I watch this week? Well, Tommy, I'll tell you what, it was February 24th, and Agent Cooper entered the town of Twin Peaks. And I know we're not a TV podcast, but I didn't watch another movie this week. I just started rewatching Twin Peaks again. And
this is like your fourth or fifth rewatch at this point?
Third rewatch. I've done introduction. I've seen the pilot like 5 or 6 times because I think the pilot is legitimately the greatest television pilot ever made. But I haven't, I'm planning to do all of the original Twin Peaks and The Return. Like that's what my plan is with this rewatch.
I need to watch The Return, but season 2, I tried watching season 2 and just fell off immediately. I can't handle.
All right, Twin Peaks season 2 is you watch until the death, and then you like if James Hurley is involved or Leo Johnson is involved, you just kind of fast forward through it. Just like it holds no bearing. Yeah, it holds no bearing to the story whatsoever. Because it hits a low point when they put Josie Packard. They because David Lynch was off the show at that time, and she gets transformed into a drawer, and that was well, what would David Lynch do? What weird thing would he do? They'd put Josie in a drawer, and it's no, but it the quality declines, and then David Lynch is all right, you're murdering my baby, and he comes back, and it slowly draws back to maybe one of the best. One of the craziest endings on network TV you've ever seen.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you've been trying to sell it for me a lot. We did see Fire Walk with Me last year, which was a good movie, even though I didn't know all the context because it was a prequel. So,
Well,
but
it's like a prequel, but it's not a prequel.
yeah, I don't know. Personally, I know you're a big Lynch guy. I'm not the biggest Lynch fan myself.
But
So
what have you seen of Lynch?
Twin Peaks at this point. I mean, I need to look up his other filmography, but it's just
Like, have you seen Eraserhead, Elephant Man, Blue Velvet,
no,
Wild
no,
at Heart? So you haven't
no.
seen any David Lynch other than Twin Peaks.
Yeah, and I'm mediocre on that. So I mean, I don't know. I get the whole dream like scenario and stuff like that, and like how the cinematography feels like that. But overall, I don't know. Maybe we need to cover some more David Lynch movies, which I know you've been wanting me to do Mulholland Drive for a while.
We will do Mulholland. So I'll put it to you this way: one of our guests, Connor Dowling, he was on the Karate Kid episode. I was hanging out with him over the summer, and we were watching a baseball game, and he just turns to me and he goes, "Can we just watch Mulholland Drive right now?" And I'm like, are you messing with me? And he was like, no, like I want to watch Mulholland Drive. Like I want to see what it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we can watch it. So we watched it. And he was like kind of lukewarm on it at first. And then he said it was like a 2.5 out of 5. And then 3 days later, he calls me and he goes, I can't stop thinking about that movie. I can't stop thinking of, like, I just can't stop thinking about like the themes in that movie. Like, it's at least a 4 out of 5. Like, it's a really incredible film. And that's somebody who has seen some David Lynch stuff, and that's not his kind of movie. That's how powerful that movie is. It's a masterful.
All right, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to that. I mean, that's the one thing you always mention. I mean, Eraserhead I've never seen too, and that movie's a movie I heard that's just like fucked up. But
Eraserhead's is not my favorite, to be honest.
No, you're okay. But I'm more in the vein of Tim Burton as my type of director, or Wes Craven, who apparently was almost up for Beetlejuice, which that probably would have been bad.
That would have been not good. No,
yeah,
no,
I love Wes Craven, but he's not as creative as Tim Burton. So
this needed that wacky tone that's just present throughout. Like, this is just a goofball adventure with two ghosts is basically what this movie is. So this is Beetlejuice.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. When two ghosts can't talk the living into leaving their house.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
They call the ghost
Beetlejuice
with the most.
Yeah!
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this? This is amazing.
Michael Keaton is a ghost called Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Rated PG. Sneak preview Saturday, March 26th.
So Beetlejuice. This is one of the iconic Tim Burton films of the late 1980s, easily on the pantheon of his movies and just the best way of his style coming through. I think this is considered one of the most iconic ones. I think of this movie and I just think of like the modern Tim Burton stuff that's all done with CG and all that. And I'm like, I think the CG that he ends up using to convey his style like takes away from the direction of photography, like the cinematography. Like, all these early Tim Burton movies are so well shot. Like, that's where I want to start. Like, the cinematography in this is like breathtaking. Like, it's really good cinematography in my opinion.
Well, the beginning of the movie opens up with that huge shot of just like the whole town that the Maitlands live in, and just like a sweeping overhead shot, and right there from the beginning. So it's like, all right, you know what you're getting in for. But I mean, the special effects too, I think, are amazing in this. I mean, they look schlocky, but that's the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, it's schlocky and silly, but that's like the tone Tim Burton always goes for. And then CG gives it that like realism that like if this movie was shot with CG, it would not have the impact that it does have.
Yeah, well, the effects budget for this movie was only like $1 million, so like they didn't have that much to go off of. But like, so that is why Tim Burton's like, I'm not gonna try and make this look realistic, just make it look schlocky as possible as a tribute to all the B movies that he clearly loves.
Yeah, and I mean, you could definitely see where they were stretching the budget, like at the very, very end when Beetlejuice is in the waiting room trying to cut the line, and the guy next to him shrinks his head. I was like, oh, that doesn't look very good.
I don't know. That worked for me.
Oh, it worked. I didn't say it didn't work. I'm saying it didn't look very good. There's a distinct difference between that. A movie that we will be talking about next week called Cocaine Bear that I saw, that Tommy has seen, and we will cover. It has that kind of
schlocky.
It has it where it's like some of the things in that did not work for me.
Okay.
And it either looked good or didn't look good. But we'll discuss that later. But I just Cocaine Bear's on the mind. After you see Cocaine Bear, what do you expect me to do? Not think about Cocaine Bear?
Like what do you want me to do? Not talk about Cocaine Bear? So I mean, as a title character in this movie, Beetlejuice. I mean, Keaton's only in this movie for what, like 14.5 minutes, which was crazy to think about because you're thinking about him the whole entire time. His presence is felt throughout this whole entire movie, even though he's not even the main character. He's probably like the third or fourth most important character when it comes down to it.
Yeah, but he brings a level of energy. Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton. I think he's just a terrific actor, and I'm going to play when we first finally meet Beetlejuice.
Adam. Babs. Boy, do you know how to pick up. Let me ask you something. Is this relationship really solid? Do I have a shot at her at all? Excuse me. Sure. Am I overstepped my bounds? Just tell me. Come on. You know what's really beautiful about this? You two kids picked me. You didn't have to, but you picked me. It makes me want to kiss you guys. Come on. Come on. Give me one. Come on. Come on. All right, let's get down to business. You're right. I got a card around here somewhere. Here. Who do I have to kill? Here, hold that for me, would you? There. Whoa! There you go. You don't have to kill anybody. Possession. Good. Learn to throw your voice. Fool your friends. Fun at parties.
No, we just want to get some people out of our house.
I understand. Well, look, in order to do that, I'm really going to have to get to know you guys. You know, we got to get closer. Move in with you for a while. Get to be real pals. You know what I'm saying? Save that guy for later. Huh?
My wife and I would like to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure. Go ahead, shoot.
Well, for instance, what are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that.
I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Well, what I mean is, can you be scary?
Oh, I know you're asking me. Can I be scary? What do you think of this? You like it?
That performance by Michael Keaton is just it's so electric.
Yeah, immediately he's batting 100. I mean, this is the all-time heat check performance of any movie because, like, the main takeaway from this movie is just like how great Michael Keaton performance was, and this movie could have been disastrous if the wrong person was cast. Like Sammy Davis Jr. was the person that Tim Burton originally wanted to cast as Beetlejuice.
Sammy Davis Jr. Oh my God. I kind of want to see that. I want to see that would have
been so awful.
The screen test that Sammy Davis Jr. probably did for Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Like, how has that not?
I don't even know if he was able to get a screen test, but like I think Warner Brothers we're not fucking casting Sammy Davis Jr. in this movie. I mean, some other people that were apparently up for it. This is IMDb bullshit for all I know, but apparently Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, who I think would have been good, and Christopher Lloyd, also Jim Carrey. I mean, all those guys would have been put a good spin up. But I think Michael Keaton was the right choice. He's not really known as a comedic actor these days, but he honestly, like, especially in the heyday in the 80s, was just batting 100, like Mr. Mom and stuff like this. When he's cast as Batman, people are like, why are you casting this comedic guy, not this dramatic actor instead, or something?
Yeah, but you can see the dramatic way that he's able to convey his comedic performance. Like, it's not just some stand-up comedian that they got to be Beetlejuice. They got a guy that's clearly a terrific performer, like, just in the way his facial expressions, like you could tell he was having the time of his life as Beetlejuice.
Yeah. It's why he's still talking about the sequels 30 years later. I mean, they've been trying to make Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian for years now.
Yeah, at that point, just leave it in production hell. Just leave it alone. That's gonna be just terrible.
I mean, I can see them Dustin and off. They did announce last year that apparently they're going to try and redo or not remake it, but do a sequel to it finally. And it was supposed to shoot over the summer, but no word's come of it since. And it's probably for the best because Tim Burton wasn't going to be involved either. So it's
I don't know. At this point, is that really the worst thing in the world that Tim Burton's not involved?
I mean, I don't know. I still think he could put us some good output. I liked Wednesday. I mean, it was a fun little TV set show.
I guess he could, but his filmography post Mars Attacks is pretty brutal. Big Fish is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Corpse Bride's good too.
I didn't see
That's
Corpse
different.
Bride. But
Fun
like
one, yeah.
the Alice in Wonderland stuff he did with Johnny
Oh,
Depp.
yeah, no.
Oh my God. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already covered that when we did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But
Or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but yikes. Terrible, terrible movie.
So-
Oh, and there's also Wonka coming out with Timothy Chalamet.
I forgot we didn't even bring that up on the Wonka episode. But yeah.
I
I'm
saw
looking at franchise.
That one I foresee a bomb in the future.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are asking for the origin story of Wonka, but anyways, this is the second Tim Burton movie we've covered this year. We covered Edward Scissorhands earlier this year. Timmy, which one would you say would you prefer? Because you weren't the biggest fan of Scissorhands.
I would prefer Beetlejuice 100 times out of 100. I think Edward Scissorhands is a lot more of a character study, where this is just like manic fun energy. Like, this is a really fun movie. Like, from opening scene to closing scene, it's a good time. The stakes aren't like, there's stakes in the movie, but it's not life or death stakes. Like, it's not super serious.
Yeah,
and it's
not plot heavy,
and it maintains that tone the entire way through. And like we were even saying before, we were like, there's not like there's really great performances in this. There's great jokes in this. There's great sequences in this. This movie does have a ton of like beef to talk around with the story, because it's as we said, it's not really plot heavy, and it's not ultra character heavy either. It's just like a fun, wacky movie.
Wacky antics and like crazy shit. Let's see Michael Keaton do this. I mean, Michael Keaton is playing such a goddamn whore dog in this movie, which is just a hilarious character trait of him. Just like him just trying to go after like fucking like Lydia, who's like a 16-year-old girl. It's like, oh Jesus, Juice. The Juice will get canceled now.
Juice has the juice, baby. Beetlejuice, baby. That's all you gotta say. Oh my God, he's here.
Oh fuck, no shit. Ah, guys, what's going on?
Oh, hey, where's the baby? Hey,
you got better tune than I do.
Is your relationship going good? Oh, hey, yeah. Ooh, come on down. Oh, yeah. Well, I gotta get married. Come on over. Ooh, yeah. I should have done the opening.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah. But anyways, the Winona Ryder of this is fucking hilarious. I mean, she plays like the stereotypical like goth girl of everything. Yeah, this is what people think of.
Was she a girl in this movie, Tommy?
No, because but yeah, she was fucking cool in this movie. So Winona Ryder just like has that style. You can see why he brought her back for Edward Scissorhands like right after and everything like that. But I just love like how stereotypical some of her lines are, where she's like, well, people that can see ghosts are only strange, unusual people, and I'm a strange, unusual person. Like,
speaking of, Tommy, you're doing a great job setting me up here, man.
Out of my wits.
You're not gross. Why are you wearing sheets?
We're practicing.
You can see us without the sheets.
Of course I can see you.
Well, how is it that you see us and nobody else can?
Well, I read through that handbook for the recently deceased. It says, live people ignore the strange and unusual. I myself am strange and unusual.
You look like a regular girl to me.
You read our book.
Yeah.
You could follow it.
Yeah, why were you guys creeping around in Delia's bedroom?
We were trying to scare your mother.
Stepmother. Anyway, you can't scare her. She's sleeping with Prince Valium tonight.
That's such a great line. She's sleeping with Prince Valium tonight, just like taking a shot at her mom.
Yeah.
I've also noticed with Tim Burton's movies, it's a weird message that he always puts onto capitalism, because the plot of the movie is essentially Adam and Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. What's Gina Davis's character's name? I have it written down here, but oh my God, Barbara and Adam Madeline.
Were you aware that Gina Davis was in this movie when you booted this up earlier?
What?
Were you aware that Gina Davis was in this movie when you booted
up?
No,
I was like, oh,
how pleasant a surprise was this? You're like, oh, fuck yeah,
Gina Davis. I love Gina Davis. I'm like, we're on a Gina Davis heater. We got to find somebody that hasn't seen a League of Their Own to get to her masterpiece.
We saw her in?
She was in Tootsie. I was like, she was one of her first performances.
Yes, we've had just like a great month of you and like your all-time celebrity crush right here. So
One of them,
just like,
yeah,
oh,
for sure. Gina, if
yeah,
you're listening, hit me up.
yeah.
Slide in
So,
those DMs, baby. I'm sure you want to.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I love just to go back to Renata real quick. Like, I just love some of the quotes she had where she says, like, my whole life is a dark room, one big dark room. And it's just like, can you be any more of an angsty goth? Like, for fuck's sake, Winona Ryder. It's just like the perfect like Tim Burton character right there. Just like the very quirky and like weird goth character that he just loves to go back to over and over again.
He does love that character, but I was saying like Adam and Barbara die and they're basically restrained to their house and they have to learn how to spook people out of their house is the plot of the movie. And Jeffrey Jones and Catherine O'Hara, she always bats 100 too when she's performing.
Yeah.
She's so good. And Jeffrey Jones, we don't really,
We don't talk about him these days.
he hasn't been in much for a reason, for some specific reason. I don't know exactly what. Oh wait, it was because he's in the Kevin Spacey camp of sexual assault. But he like they are business people that are moving out to the boonies of Connecticut just to get away. And when they discover the house is haunted, their idea is like, well, we can sell this as an idea. And that's one of those like overlying themes I've noticed in these early Tim Burton movies, especially between Edward Scissorhands and now this. It's about like turning the weird and unusual into a business. Like, how can we capitalize on this financially?
Yeah, over and over and over again.
But it's a weird examination into capitalism because he doesn't necessarily draw it in an ultra negative light, but it's always there and it's always prominent. And I imagine for him as an artist, it must kind of feel like that, like working in the Hollywood system of like, you want to put your weird, unique ideas out there, but you also have to make money while doing it. So if you go way too far, you're never going to get like a big enough audience to get a huge box office.
Yeah.
And then if it's boring, it doesn't do well at the box office either. And it's kind of toying that line. And like, that's where I think for him personally, that comes from. And like, you just seeing more and more of his early stuff, like even Ed Wood, which is my favorite Tim Burton movie. That's part of it too, is like the junk that Ed Wood is making and like him getting like laughed at by Hollywood executives and stuff. Like, it's not as prevalent in that story as it is in this story, but that theme always kind of lingers around. And like, how can we make the weird profitable?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you can definitely feel that like the Winona Ryder character is pretty much just like the Tim Burton stand-in character, where like he's just the one that's like so fucking pissed off at like her parents, or her parents in this case are fucking like yuppies and just like, big high society types and stuff like that. I'm immediately thinking of the dollar bill immediately. So it's just like, you definitely feel a lot of the lines that like Winona Ryder says is just shit that probably Tim Burton says to himself all the time, where it's just like, my room's dark constantly, my heart is dark, or something like that. Just like angsty listen to the Cure type shit.
Oh, definitely. I definitely feel like, yeah, that character is just the Tim Burton stand-in via Winona Ryder. But Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, they are kind of our guides throughout this entire world. As they are just like, simple country folk who like making model houses and stuff like that. And they do not know how to be good.
Oh, I thought that was they're on a vacation.
No, they live in the house. They were doing a stay-at-home vacation. That is their house.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, I do like both of them. I think they have a good chemistry right here. Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin apparently hates his performance on this movie and just does not like this movie. He thought he did like a terrible job.
Well, I think of a lot of Alec Baldwin performances, and they're usually like quote unquote alpha male kind of things, and like he definitely does not come off that way. He kind of comes off like a bumbling idiot, and he doesn't.
He's
normally...
kind of a square.
Yeah, and so like I think for himself, he just hates that he's seen in that light, and he does a good job. I personally think, but I could definitely see him hating himself in that light. And then
he said that he thought his career was going to end with this movie. That's like how much he hated this movie, where he's just like, oh god.
Well, there was a recent movie that ended Alec Baldwin's career.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing we don't talk about that much. He just realized that like Michael Keaton was the reason that this movie worked, but he was just like, Jesus, I mean, like, talk about self-assured fucking jackass, but whatever.
Yeah, but like that's like who Alec Baldwin is. He's a self-assured jackass, but that's his charm, pre when he shot the director of photography on some movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pre that. Like I love him as Jack Donaghy in 30 Rock. Like I think that's like his best performance. And obviously his 10-minute Coffee is for Closers and Glenn Ross. Like what a performance.
All timer right there.
All time one.
Talk about heat check.
Yeah, that's a true heat check. And
yeah.
But yeah, they have this chemistry and this just like they're simple people, and they're getting people that move in that are city people. Again, it's that clash of like the city versus the suburbs who are coming in, and like they change the house completely from like this cute cottage into this like weird like modern Tim Burton's crazy set design.
Well, it's like, I thought Lydia was the only one in the family that was a goth, but like fucking like Catherine O'Hara decorates the house so just like a goth fantasy of just like everything's gray and like grim, and to compare where it's like colorful before. It's like you can see where Lydia gets it from.
Yeah, you could definitely see where she gets it from, and like you also get the idea that her parents don't really care about her that much either.
Yeah,
which definitely leads into that angst, that teenage angst. Like they only want her there when they're showing the house off to people to summon the ghosts. That's the only reason they want her there.
Come on, goth girl, do your goth girl shit.
Do your goth girl shit. And then the ending, which was like bizarre, is like Adam and Barbara are like her pseudo parents, and like and then Charles and Delia live in the house still, but they don't like interact with her. Like the ghosts are just raising the kid now because they couldn't have kids. Like, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, they're like, the ghosts are better. Just like fine, we're at the point, just accepted it.
The ghosts are so much better at being parents. We might as well just let them do it. That's not going to contribute to her angst whatsoever.
Yeah, totally not. I mean, that being said, the ending of this movie, I think, is like one of the best parts of this movie, which is a compliment. I mean, when that song kicked in, the like shake, shake, shake Sonora song, I got goosebumps immediately. It's such an iconic, just like classic little scene right there.
Yeah, and when they do that in the which one do they do? Stand up right on the football run. When they do their first haunting, and they're like, "This is going to be a great idea," and they were like, "We could sell this to people.
This is fun.
This is fun. Geez. This is great. We could sell this. We could profit off of this."
Yeah,
that's the true American way, baby. I love Tim Burton just putting that out in the fold quite like that. But really, like all of these performances are just great performances all around.
And like so many just like iconic actors within this, where it's just like everyone just bagged 100, right? Even Dick Cavett.
Yeah, I was really happy when I saw Dick Cavett show up. I was like, oh, that's nice. Like he doesn't do anything, but he was there.
Yeah, he was there in the moment. So, as a kid, I remember I didn't see this movie until like 2 years ago, and I remember the only thing I had to go off of this as a kid was I watched the Beetlejuice cartoon a lot back in the day, because it used to be like right before Dexter's Lab or some shit when I was a little kid. And it felt like such a more different vibe, and just like it was like the goth kid cartoon, I guess.
Explains so much about you, Tommy.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, it's one of those things that like we don't really do that as much these days. Like, there's not like as many like cartoon spin-offs to like fucking movies that shouldn't be cartoons. Like there's a RoboCop cartoon back in the day. I mean, like
well, Tommy, because we don't make new IP anymore. We just recycle old IP and water it down and piss off the fan base. That's what we do now.
Well, you'd almost figure like, if back in the 80s, John Wick would have had a cartoon spinoff, I feel like, for sure.
Well, John Wick's a tricky one because John Wick is not for children in the slightest. I love the John Wick.
Neither is RoboCop.
Neither is RoboCop, but at least RoboCop is like a cop, and like you could sell that to kids. Hey, this guy is this weird assassin. Here, go nuts, kids.
Have fun with this, kids.
Yeah, when you said that, when I was thinking like, what IP could they actually turn into like an animated cartoon for children? Like John Wick was the only like recent IP I could think of that was big enough that they could turn into. Like I'm sure on Disney Plus there's 100 Marvel animated kid shows.
Well, that's different because that's like a different medium than it always was Marvel cartoons back in the day. But I mean, like I know there's like Jurassic World kid shows on Netflix or something like that, and Jurassic Park. I mean, the fact that they made a Attack of the Killer Tomatoes cartoon show for kids, like which is like an R-rated movie, it'd be almost like if they made like a Freddy Krueger thing, where it's like, what? What were they thinking back in the day? The nights were a different vibe.
You would watch that. You'd watch the heck out of that Freddy Krueger animated show.
I mean, trust me, I am. I mean, this upcoming week, we'll probably discuss it more on the pod next week, but they're doing a screening of Nightmare on Elm Street near my apartment, and I can't wait. So just in time for my birthday.
Just in time for your birthday, too, dude. Yeah, that'll be fun for you. I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to go because I live like 1,000 miles away, but.
Yeah. So I'll be good, though. Speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, apparently Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street, was up for Lydia, but she didn't want to play a goth girl, so Renault got the part instead, which for the best, let's be real.
Yeah, like this is when she came into becoming like one of the big girls of the early 90s, like the hottest female actresses. What was the clip of her and the guy who plays Hopper? And they were doing like one of those interviews for Stranger Things. And she was like, yeah, no, I wasn't really one of those it girls like back in the day. And he was literally like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, you were.
Yeah, she definitely was, without a doubt.
And it's definitely because it tried, like she always had like the goth aesthetic, and like Tim Burton movies were big ones that she was like, some of the most iconic performances of hers. Like, yeah, she's gonna attract especially more of like a niche following that would develop crushes on her.
Yeah, because like every movie she was in was like gothic fantasies, like Dracula and stuff like that.
Hey, she knew how to pick them, man. She's had a good career, an interesting career for sure.
Yeah, to say the least.
to say the least.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
Tommy, who is the star of Beetlejuice? Is it the self-titled character, or is it somebody else?
It feels weird to call it Michael Keaton, even though he's in the movie for like 15 minutes. But I feel like you have to go with Michael Keaton because, like I said, like when you probably walked out of the theaters in the 80s seeing this movie, the first thing you were talking about was Michael Keaton's performance. And there's a reason he carries this movie through his little short screen time, and he just brings a breath of fresh air into this movie. He just comes in like a fucking like battering ram, just going in and like batting 100 and just going amazing, hilarious throughout. He ad-libbed like 9% of his dialogue, and all of it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's not Michael Keaton. It was just like electric on the screen. Like he brought a lot of energy to a movie where, not that this movie drags, but there's points where you're just like, you're starting to get a little sleepy or whatever, and then Michael Keaton just pops up at the right moment and you're like, all right, I'm back, I'm fully back in, invested in this movie. That's how just crazy eccentric his performance was. And I don't think like Jim Carrey could have maybe done it, but it would have been different too, because it would have been way more. It wouldn't, like, Michael Keaton brought this sleaze to the character that just sells it as this like creepy dead guy that helps people with hauntings. Like that's his role in the movie. And I think if you didn't have that, like that sleaze to him, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Jim Carrey would come off like too wholesome. Like that's what Michael Keaton is able to really convey there, is the sleaziness of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, thank God I wasn't the same day as Junior either, because like he couldn't pull off the sleaze part of that.
He would also been like 70 at this point.
Yeah, it is a bizarre 60, choice
70, by Tim Burton. Yeah, weird choice by Tim Burton.
I mean, this is Tim Burton's second movie, and he definitely got like a blank check from Pee-wee's Playhouse. So he tried to get
Adventure.
Pee-wee's,
yeah, Big Adventure. You said Playhouse, Tommy. Wrong.
I know. Wrong.
So, but yeah, it was. It's Michael Keaton. I mean, literally everybody's kind of batting 100 here. Maybe not Alec Baldwin, according to himself, but everybody else is batting around 100 here, and it's still Michael Keaton. He's batting 1,000.
Yeah, without doubt.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
Tommy, would Beetlejuice work as a Muppet adaptation? And are you surprised at this point that there hasn't been a Muppet adaptation of Beetlejuice? Because I think this movie would work 1,000%. This is like totally Muppets Total Muppet
Yeah.
perfection.
It'd be amazing Muppets. I mean, the fact is that there's already like claymation. There's already some puppets in this movie to begin with, like the snake thing. That I think that was puppets right there. But I mean, like literally, like the only human person you keep as a human would be Beetlejuice himself, maybe, or maybe you could do a Beetlejuice Muppet.
No, I think you just got to keep Michael Keaton. You could replace everybody else with Muppets. You could just make it a Muppet world, and Beetlejuice is this weird guy that they deal with. Like, I think that would be perfect. Yeah. Like, I'm actually surprised there hasn't been an attempt of a Muppet Beetlejuice, because it would work. It would work so well. Like, you don't even need to change that much.
Well, at this point, this franchise has gone different mediums. Like we were just talking about the cartoon show. There's a Broadway show of this that came out like 34 years ago, and apparently is amazing and translates very well to Broadway. So, I mean, at this point, it's still iconic. I mean, I think I talked about the Edward Scissorhands episode, how I went to a Tim Burton bar back in December, which they often have at this bar. It's like Tim Burton themed drinks, like, and like Tim Burton like themed decor all over the fucking bar and everything like that. And they'll have performers come in. When I was there, it was Jack Skellington, but apparently sometimes it's Beetlejuice, and the guy who's dressed up as Beetlejuice would come up to you and just roast you and just like fucking start making all those jokes. But this character is something that people love, and Muppet adaptation would work amazingly for this.
It would work so perfectly. Disney, like, hit us up, man. I know it's been a rough couple of years.
I know this is a Fox. Well, is this Fox or Warner Brothers? This is Warner Brothers.
Don't worry about it.
But Warner Brothers and Disney come together for Beetlejuice specifically.
Like, and Disney, I know you're struggling right now in terms of Ant-Man and the Wasp, second weekend of any MCU movie ever, in terms of box office drop off. Woof.
Yeah.
Kicking off phase 5 with a bang, baby. All right, Tommy, review time. Give me a score out of 5.
I think this is a very fun movie that I probably should have been watching for like my whole life. Tim Burton's energy obviously was always great. There's great set decor, just amazing characters right here. Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder are especially standouts right here. And the Michael Keaton performance is just perfection, just amazing comedic performance right here. I'm gonna go for a 5. This is a really fun movie, and I always like revisiting it. And like I said, the ending gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, I want to say I'm gonna go. I think 4 out of 5 as well. I'm between a 3.5 and a 4 out of 5. Like, I think the set design, like, which didn't really cover, but it's so wacky and inventive and just engaging throughout. It's a nice 90-minute runtime, which I love. I know you love too. The performances are just incredible. Not really a story-centric movie, but it's fun. Like, you're just going to sit there, you're going to watch Beetlejuice, you're going to have a grand old time. And I'd highly recommend Beetlejuice to anybody that's never seen it before.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, any final thoughts?
So Beetlejuice, this movie is celebrating actually its 35th anniversary this month. So kind of crazy to think about that. But this was a really fun movie. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on social media at CNETPod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And leave us a 5-star review while you're listening. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps out the show. And we're coming up with our schedule for next month. I think The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock is on the list.
Birds. We might do Zoolander.
Yeah, we're thinking of some ones. We have some good ones coming up. So get ready.
So thank you guys all so much for listening today. We'll see you next week.